on the 4th of May, an Indian Air Force convoy was attacked by terrorists in the Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir. In the gunfight, our Air Force warriors fought back. In the process, 5 IAF personnel received bullet injuries and were evacuated to a nearby military hospital. I'm going to put out this photograph on your screens in just a moment that I have opened here. The man that you will see on your screens in just a moment is Corporal Vicky Pahade, who was martyred in Poonch. He was martyred on the line of duty. He is one of the many army personnel who have given their lives in taking down terrorists in the valley and in the northeast. At a time when we should be taking a moment to bow down to the ultimate sacrifice made by Corporal Vicky Pahade, a political slugfest is unfortunately underway. Leaders of opposition, specifically the Congress's Charanjit Channi and RJD's Tej Pratap Yadav, have drawn a parallel to what's happened in Poonch with the Pulwama terror attack of 2019, in which 40 CRPF personnel of India were killed. Both Channi and Tej Pratap have called the latest attack in Poonch quote-unquote stunt bazi of the BJP to help it win elections. Listen in to what is it that they've said.
ये स्टंटबाजी हो रही है, हमले नहीं हो रहे। पिछली बार भी जब इलेक्शन आते हैं तो ऐसे स्टंट खेले जाते हैं और बीजेपी को जिताने का संविधान तैयार किया जाता है। ये तैयार किए हुए सारे पहले से तैयार करके हमले करवाए जाते हैं। ये बीजेपी को जिताने का एक स्टंट होता है, इसमें सच्चाई नहीं होती। लोग मरवाने और लोगों के लाशों पे खेलना ये बीजेपी को आता है।
Based on very specific and credible information which we received yesterday, that some terrorist teams had positioned themselves at launch pads along the line of control with an aim to carry out infiltration and terrorist strikes in Jammu and Kashmir and various other metros in our country. The Indian Army conducted surgical strikes last night at these launch pads. The operations were basically focused to ensure that these terrorists do not succeed in their design of infiltration and carrying out destruction and endangering the lives of citizens of our country. During these counter-terrorist operations, significant casualties have been caused to the terrorists and those who are trying to support them. The operations aimed at neutralizing the terrorists have since ceased. We do not have any plans for further continuation of the operations. However, the Indian armed forces are fully prepared for any contingency that may arise. I have just spoken to the Pakistani Director General of Military Operations and explained our concerns and also shared with him the operations we had conducted last night. It is India's intention to maintain peace and tranquility in the region. But we can certainly not allow the terrorists to operate across the line of control with impunity and attack the citizens of our country. In line with Pakistan's commitment made in January 2004 not to allow its soil or territory under its control for any terrorist activities against India, we expect the Pakistan Army to cooperate with us with a view to erase this menace of terrorism from our region.
In fact, it wasn't just the forces. You must listen into an exclusive conversation that NewsX had with the commandos who had conducted the surgical strike in 2016.
उड़ी में जब अटैक हुआ था तो उस टाइम मैं भी वहीं पे था। जो वहाँ का सिचुएशन था और जब हमने अपनी कैजुअलिटीज़ देखी तो हमारे अंदर एक अलग टाइप का गुस्सा था। हमारे बिहार रेजिमेंट के ही कुछ जेसीओ साहब थे, सिपाही थे, तो हमने उनसे बात किया तो उन लोगों ने बताया कि ये गलत हुआ है और इसका बदला लेना। हमारी टीम ने उस टाइम भी उन्हें आश्वासन दिया कि भारतीय फ़ौज के साथ और हम सब एक ही फ़ौज हैं और हम इसका बदला ज़रूर लेंगे और उन्हें जल्द से जल्द इस चीज़ का इंसाफ दिलाएंगे।
So as you can see that there was enough information out there, but opposition leaders were quick to raise questions and doubts. Several opposition leaders continuously asked for proof of this surgical strike as well. They said that no targets were really hit. They maintained somewhere a little bit the stance of Pakistan, which further got emboldened when political leaders from within India began demanding proof of the surgical strike by the IAF. Listen in to what had happened then.
जो हमारे जवान हैं जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जम्मू कश्मीर में जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जिन्होंने हिंदुस्तान के लिए सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक किया है, उनके खून के पीछे आप छुपे हुए हो, उनकी आप दलाली कर रहे हो। ये बिल्कुल गलत है। हिंदुस्तान के सेना ने हिंदुस्तान का काम किया है, आप अपना काम कीजिए। आप हिंदुस्तान के किसान की मदद कीजिए। आप हिंदुस्तान की सेना को 7th पे कमीशन में पैसा बढ़ा के दीजिए। ये आपका काम है, ये आपकी जिम्मेदारी है, इसको आप निभाइए। हिंदुस्तान ने आपको इसके लिए इलेक्ट किया है।
सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक की बात करते हैं कि हमने इतने लोग मार गिराए, लेकिन प्रमाण कुछ नहीं, केवल झूठ का पुलिंदा से ये राज कर रहे हैं। मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूं, ये देश सबका है।
They say history repeats itself. Politicians in India have not learned their lessons from 2016 or even from 2019 when they continuously demanded proof of surgical strikes, of the Balakot airstrikes that were conducted to avenge the deaths of Indian jawans. Today, in 2024, once again the opposition leaders are making similar claims, taking it one step further, making serious allegations against the government of the day. They've called the attack on our army personnel in Poonch stunt bazi. They can try to give whatever explanation that they want, but will this be tolerated by the people of the nation? Only time will tell us. To take this conversation forward, I have with me Jasmine Sandavalia, BJP spokesperson, George Kurian, political analyst, also with us. I have with me Sumit P, political commentator, and Major General A.K. Sivach, also with us on the broadcast. Let me begin this conversation with Mr. George Kurian. Mr. Kurian, how exactly is the Congress party or the opposition now attempting to explain what has been said by Mr. Charanjit Singh Channi?
Devika, good evening to you, to my co-panelists on the show, and to your audience. Let me begin by saying that I don't endorse the statement that has come from former Chief Minister of Punjab, the Congress leader Charanjit Singh Channi. This is really uncalled for. There was no need to make such a new statement with respect to the defense forces personnel. We all value their valor that they show on the borders and the sensitive districts and the areas that they, take care of the country and our borders. So this kind of a statement is really uncalled for. Nobody would, for that matter, second this statement, not even my leader Rahul Gandhi. And I strongly believe that, in the past also Digvijay Singh had questioned about the surgical strikes also, and Rahul Gandhi had turned down, saying that, it's his personal opinion or views that he has made. So this goes without saying. And as far as Poonch terror attack is concerned, it's really unfortunate incident, and we value the personnel, the Air Force personnel who got martyred here, who got martyred, and he has lost his life. So we really understand, how the families have to go through post all these terror attacks. We all understand that, elections are going on. We are in midst of the election, but that shouldn't, we shouldn't question the terror attacks or anything to do with army or defense personnel. We shouldn't link this to the election, is what I personally feel. But having said that, one cannot ignore the fact that Pulwama, because the then governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Satpal Malik, had come out in open and public domain. It's there for everyone to go through his interviews. it could have been avoided, is what the governor has to say. So that, keeping that in context, is what probably the Channi must have made the statement. But this is really uncalled for at this point in time. We should fight the election basis on what we are going to offer the people of India at large, and not on basis of using the Indian Army or defense personals to contest election and to win elections, is what I want to say.
Okay, all right. Let me bring in Sumit Peer into the conversation as well. Sumit, what do you make of some of the explanations that are now coming out for what has been said?
Devika ji, thanks for having me on your show. In fact, habitual offenders cannot be forgiven. You can do a mistake once, twice, but if you keep on doing the mistake, that's a strategy. What do? You let the cat go loose, then you test the waters. See how is it reacting, then you try to pull somebody back. If Digvijay Singh said what he had to say, but everything what Digvijay Singh had said, has he been expelled from the party? Can Rahul Gandhi today come and apologize? Will Sonia Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, Robert Vadra apologize? Will Kharge ji apologize? Is there a statement from Kharge ji? He says, no, Channi ji is its own statement. We have nothing to do with that. And in fact, I called upon Mr. Channi and told him, you should not make such statements. You are saying Vijay Korpal is now dead, right? Vijay Pahare is now dead, no longer with us on the line of duty. You are saying it's a stunt by BJP. You are saying that the Ministry of External Affairs sends his men with a gun, which are again from some force and tells to kill the people in uniform from the Indian Army, which are again from a force. So people with uniform are killed by people without uniform. That's how you could have done it. So if that is a stunt, there is something which is grossly wrong with Mr. Channi, and this is grossly wrong with Congress leadership who are doing this. You are insulting the valor of the country. You question the surgical strikes. You question the Balakot. When demonetization was done, only two people were crying, Pakistan and yourself. After the demonetization, the Pakistan's economy has gone to shambles. The Pakistani army is weakened. When there were strikes on the Hurriyat conference, who was crying foul? They were crying foul. When PFI was dismantled, who was crying foul? Congress is crying the foul. And recently, when there was this paper, this Wall Street Journal or somebody, this canard about this Vikram Yadav and Roy orchestrating some kills and all, nobody in India, nobody in the world did anything else, but the Congress said, yes, we will criticize that. Now, why is this Congress is always with anti-India forces? Why is that when the valor of Indian army is questioned, when anything good goes for the India, Congress is the one who is jumping the ship? They are questioning anybody and everybody. What is this about, and how many times can you apologize? How many can you put things time to put in context? If Channi did this wrong, has he been sacked from the party? Sack him from the party, will say your intention is right. Digvijay Singh ji, have you sacked him from the party? No. Ek tukde karne wala Imran, have you sacked him from the party? No. How many instances can I tell you who all questioned the surgical strikes? Have you sanctioned them? Have you taken them out of the party? No. And what about Tejasvi Yadav? Because Tejasvi Yadav cannot win any seat in Bihar. He's holding on to clutches. There are people from like Mr. Arvind Kejriwal also who question the surgical strikes. A lot of people question the surgical strikes. What was this comment of Mr. Rahul Gandhi? Khoon ki dalali. Can you explain this Khoon ki dalali? Has Rahul Gandhi apologized first? Khoon ki dalali, Shumb Nishum, Basma Sur, Zahar ki kheti. Have you apologized for all these things? No, you have not. You still continue to do it, and when the things go on the other side, you say, oh, sorry, this was his personal comment, it has nothing to do with it. How can you have such loud motor mouths in your party, and what has party done to control them? There was one statement from Nupur Sharma ji, which we don't support, but the party took action against her. BJP has taken time and again action against its own people, but what has the Congress done? Nothing. You want to run with the air and hunt with the hounds. If the things work right, good. If they don't work right, sorry, yaar, galti ho gayi. It was his personal opinion. What do you mean by personal opinion? He's your ex-chief minister. He's a very tall leader. Shouldn't Kharge ji apologize today? Shouldn't Rahul Gandhi give a press conference? When there's a report in some rag in Washington which says, this Adani, this happened, Hindenburg, this happened. Just before the G20, you come and do a press conference and you say, Mr. Modi, G20 is happening. You must clarify to the world how Indian institutions are compromised. Now, when your tallest leader is putting allegations as calling it a stunt, that people in uniform got killed by the people not in uniform, then you are saying, oh, sorry, we don't know about it. We have not seen about it. Like you're talking about Hemant Kharge ji, it was your government in Maharashtra. What did you do about that? Why were you silent for all these years? What were you waiting for an election to come? Your support, वो ना कहते हैं ना मोदी विरोध करते करते भारत का कब विरोध करते हो आपको पता ही नहीं लगता. You want to oppose Ujjwal Nigam, by in the process of doing that, now you are insulting martyrs. You are insulting the people who have laid their lives for the country. You are questioning their martyrdom. I mean, how low can you go? And then when your debacle, you limit to 40 seats, फिर कहते हो भैया क्या हो गया? This is the problem of the Congress. You cannot control the things, and everybody will put it to Rahul Gandhi and the Gandhi Parivar. They will jump on each and everything. They will jump on a column in some international publication. But when the tallest of leaders talk this, they will not talk a word. They will choose to be silent and they will let the tide go. Dekhte kya hota hai. Ma'am, this kind of a hypocrisy is not accepted. The nation will not accept it, especially when you're questioning the people who are dead on the line of duty. Go and ask his family.
Okay.
Vicky Pareji ki family se पूछिए आप.
Yes.
Then he would know what is leaving a person dead. And then you're casting aspersions, making stories. I think what Mr. Channi should do an unconditional apology to the nation and the family of the martyr.
Yes, but is that enough? Is that enough? Sumit Peer, that's the question that we have to ask. Is that enough? Major General A.K. Sivach, I want to understand from you, sir. Is an unconditional apology at this point in time enough? Because we've seen this, as we have shown as well. It's been happening in the past. In 2016, questions were raised on the surgical strike. In 2019, questions were raised on the Balakot airstrike as well. Proof was demanded from the army, from the government of the day. And today, like I said, this is not even about proof anymore. It's been taken one step further where this is being called stuntbazi. There is a Jawan of the Indian Army who's lost his life. There's an Air Force personnel who's lost his life, and we have leaders of opposition today calling this stuntbazi. How is this stuntbazi?
Absolutely correct. Devika is very unfortunate. You see, whenever we are fighting against terrorism, whenever we are fighting against the enemy of the country, we must stand together. We should be on the same page, whether it is a ruling party or it is an opposition. If we are not, then we are giving advantage to the Pakistani ISI. You know, they are quoting all these statements and trying to tell to the international community that whatever terrorism is taking place in India, it is a self-governed, and it is basically happening within its country itself. And that is where you lose a fighting against this international terrorism. Remember that in 2016, after Uri, that 24 launch pads were hit on the same night, where about 46 terrorists were killed, and they were all waiting to be infiltrated inside Jammu and Kashmir. And this was very well known. Everyone knew it, that this has happened. Pakistani understood it, and that's why they could not react. We have basically exposed their nuclear bogey also. At the same time, when it happened, Pulwama, when 40 brave hearts of CRPF laid their life, a Balakot was conducted, not in POJK, but in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, 90 kilometers deep inside. The Jaish-e-Mohammed training camp was completely neutralized in the night, where 312 terrorists were killed. And then you start doubting your own defense forces, or you start doubting your own nation. You are giving advantage and you are playing into the hand of the enemy. Remember that. That point has to be seen. Now, as far as this incident which has taken place in Poonch, it is very well known that in Rajouri, Poonch, the terrorism is slightly on the increase. The Pakistanis and ISI is trying to make that when Kashmir Valley is totally peaceful, there are only 30-40 terrorists which are residual left. Lashkar-e-Toba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Hizbul Mujahideen, leadership has been totally wiped off. They try to open another avenue, Rajouri Poonch, because it is very close to the line of control. And also, we have moved our troops earlier in April 2020 from here to the line of actual control. And now this place, they will try to activate it. Now this incident has taken place where our one brave heart has lost his life and another 4 have been injured. We are calling it is a state menace, it is a stunt. There can't be anything wrong than this. You are now trying to question the martyrdom of your own brave heart. That is not correct. This impact will be that it demoralizes the armed forces which are guarding your border. And remember that I can only say that as far as the nation is concerned, one voice has to come, whether it is the opposition or whether it is the ruling party. Politics set aside, there will be election which will come and go, but you can't speak against the nation. You cannot question the bravery of your man. If you do that, you are demoralizing, and that is where the enemy makes use of it. So kindly understand this, that in case if there is a political party which is making use of that, and then the people will not take it lightly because they know what the armed forces have done it. I can only say, Devika, with a lot of authority at my command, that the security forces are fighting day out and day night. And today we all sleep peacefully because our Army, Air Force, Navy, and other security forces is guarding our border peacefully, and we are proud of that. Devika.
Absolutely. At the same time, Jasmine Sandhwalia, let me bring you into the conversation. I would understand from you, how does the BJP respond to some of the serious allegations then that are being made by the opposition leaders here when they say that this is all a stunt by the BJP?
Devika, the accusations, unfortunately, are absolutely absurd and ridiculous. And the words of a former Chief Minister of Congress Party, Mr. Charanjit Singh Channi, are abhorrent. But I would like to say that I am a daughter-in-law of a retired Air Marshal, Mr. J.S. Sandhwalia. And personally, I come from a family where we go and our men have gone and fought wars. Now, what has happened is that, unfortunately, Congress is seeing that, and it's destruction, total destruction. It's going to be totally losing the elections, and that is why in very desperate attempts, it is stooping down to this level. Mr. Channi is a former Chief Minister of Punjab and a Punjabi. I'm a Punjabi myself. Pakistan, for 15 years, led a proxy war in Punjab by raising the militant issue. We have suffered enough. For him to make a statement is so blasphemous and so sad. And today, nobody in the Congress can really raise up their eyes and say what they have said is right. Now, there is a pattern I want to discuss. If you notice, in the last 7 days, the alliance, the Congress and its allies have repeatedly made the opposition has made statements against India, if you see. Mr. Abdullah has gone ahead and said that India should not forget that Pakistan is a nuclear weaponized country. Is this a statement to be made by a senior Indian politician? Mr. Abdullah should be reflecting and feeling proud of the Indian arsenal of nuclear weapons, not talking about Pakistan. Then you have a Pakistani former minister going ahead and tweeting that Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was a socialist and that Mr. Modi is not a good prime minister. Now, what does this imply? Shashi Tharoor goes ahead and writes an article in a Bangladeshi newspaper and projecting Pakistan, using language projecting Pakistan. Now, this is all a pattern which is being followed, a narrative by the Congress and its allies is being set in India, and this is not going to be tolerated by any in India. It is very sad that the opposition parties are stooping to this level, and we should all be proud. We should all be proud to what the BJP and our Prime Minister has done for this country. The BJP is one party which has spent thousands of crores in weaponizing our country with the latest weapons, while the Congress was mired in corruption and didn't twiddle its thumbs to procure any arms for the Indian forces.
Okay,
and I'm very upset that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has not come out and said that he does not stand by Mr. Channi's statement.
Okay, I'm going to leave the last word with George Kurian. George Kurian, you also in the beginning said that the comments that were made were unfortunate. Now, all of us do realize that, but as has been pointed out, there has been a pattern within the Congress party where even senior leaders like Digvijay Singh, who continue to be senior leaders of the Congress party, have time and again made such remarks specifically targeting work done by the Indian forces. Why is it that the Congress party finds it so difficult to take some action against these leaders?
Well, let me begin by saying that I totally agree to few points that General made on the show. I'm in sync with that. Having said that, the moment this unfortunate terror attack happened in Poonch, Rahul Gandhi did condemn this on his timeline. same with Priyanka Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge. So the Congress party, it's not that the Congress party was questioning the intent behind the attack. So we have condemned that, except for a few Congress leaders who have given a very loose statement, and we don't second that. It is their personal discretion and opinion that they have made. In fact, we also believe that, in fact, it's doing more damage to the Congress party than good. And secondly, it's giving ammunition to Bharatiya Janata Party, so it is not doing any good to the Congress party. So it's giving ammunition to the Bharatiya Janata Party to, capitalize on the opportunity. So we don't want that to happen. We don't doubt the intent of the army personnel and the defense forces. We respect that. We are proud of them, and we understand, how they are putting their life on the line of control. So we agree to this, and we value all the martyrdoms that they have given their life for the country. So there is no two ways about it. This is a very loose statement that has come from Channi. I just condemn it. That's what I can say at this point in time.
Hopefully the Congress party and others, including the party of Mr. Tej Pratap Yadav, will also now have the courage to condemn, distance themselves and take some serious action against such politicians who feel that it is okay to pass these sort of absolutely disgusting and disgraceful comments over an unfortunate terror attack which has claimed the life of one Indian soldier. With that, I thank all of our panelists for joining us.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.